Well, that was a disappointing day, wasn't it, lads, after yesterday?
Well, it wasn't great. If we're all being honest, I think a lot of our selections underperformed, to say the least. Well, I say underperformed, they're still running. So once they cross the line, we can digress that. But yeah, it wasn't a great day, to be honest with you.
I wasn't necessarily so much talking about the selections, but just more in, what happened with Siskin. A lot of people would have expected that as a win,
That was a disappointing, not run, but it's just a disappointing that he just didn't get there, didn't win. I thought I most probably Siskin, like I said, most probably didn't handle the track that well because you could see the head carriage, so he was hanging. But no, I thought to be honest, I thought Oleg ran really well, considering up in class. I think Holly Doll gave a really good ride. He went to the line. It opens up a few options for him from distance, from doing over national hunt chasing distance to 2 miles to 2 miles 4. I did get an email and they were happy of his performance, and I was very happy with his performance. Looks like he might have one more flat run, so that could be, I don't know, I was thinking the Cesarich, the 2 mile 2 at Newmarket, but that could be that could be too quick for him. So there were people saying that he didn't really handle the track. I thought he handled the track well. Most probably he would like a galloping track. We'll wait and see how he come out of their race from today. We'll get the SP, and if he doesn't take on the flat, he will definitely be a serious horse for the national hunt. So don't worry. I think there's a few followers now. Everybody loves a grey. I think there's
of course they do. Yeah.
I think there's a few people going to be interested in following him now for the national hunt. So that people know. So people know that what he's like now. I think he'll be a dark horse. I think he'll be a fun horse, and you'll see him at most Saturday racings and all that top class, like class 2 races, but over as novice chasing. So yeah, I'm very happy with his performance.
Wasn't he sort of purchased for the national hunt scene though, Jamie?
Yes, yeah. They bought him in France off of out of David Cotton stable, and that were more preferable to have him as a national hunt horse, so not a dual purpose. But he has got flat pedigree in him,
right?
And they decided to exploit his flat mark, which they did, and they've done really well. Well, he's done really well. So now it's back over. It's either one more flat, or could be over. Give him a good rest, and then start on the national hunt season for him. But yeah. I'm hoping that Paul will be played with him and Harry Denham. So yeah, it'll be all fun for him all the way.
Okay, mate. Fair enough. Okay then, Sean. Well, you can start us off today with your couple of selections for tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries. Right, straight in 145 for me tomorrow. Zabel Champion, Mark Johnson, Ryan Moore combination. 5 to 1 at the moment. It's up against a very good Haggis and a very good Roger Varian pair. Just watched the last 2 runs back. It's 2 for 2 at Newmarket over the last couple of weeks. It's a typical Mark Johnson horse. Set his stalls out early, go to the front early. And I've got to be honest with you, it seems a very tough horse to pass, because even when challenges are coming from either side, it's very, like we said, a typical Mark Johnson gritty horse. It will dig deep, find more, and actually win going away. They were over 1 mile 2. I believe this is 1 mile 1. That drop's going to be very irrelevant for this sort of horse. As long as he does break early, get out the stalls, set the pace, and make the running, I will find him very difficult to pass on the previous runs. Again, our sort for Haggis and Crowley, and magnetised for Varian and Atzeni, leading the market at the moment. So again, combinations will work on those as well. But I just think this should be a very gritty Mark Johnson type horse.
There's not a lot to split the top 4, is there really?
No, not really.
There's not.
Yeah, because you've got magical mourning for Dettori. Is the other? Is that the
That's
other
it,
one?
yeah, 15-2 with Bet365.
Yeah, but like I say, watching the previous races of that Zabel Champion at Newmarket, it's a typical Johnson horse. It will get in front and it will be very difficult to pass. So yeah, as long as it gets the break, Zabel Champion for me in the 145, and then I'm going 345. I've gone for running back. At the moment, a horse that seems to be always the best man, never the groom. It's 2 for 2. I'm assuming that, there's reasons for it. It just never seems to get its head in front. It's that final furlong. It's one of these where it takes time to get going. Just again, watching back over a couple of the races.
Yeah.
To sit out the back mid-division and then get going really late. It's been running over 6 furlong. Stepping up to 7 could be that key to unlocking it, giving that extra furlong to get that motor going a little bit more.
Yeah.
I can see that, those losses have come by a short head, or I think it lost to Quedar, the Jim Crowley ride not so long ago. Again, that horse is running in the 215 or 245 in a decent race itself. So I think this is a good substitute for running back, running in the 345 at 7 furlong. Again, as long as that engine gets going late, as it has done over 6 furlong, I think 7 is a good spot. So
fair enough.
Running back for me in the 345.
Okay, mate. Right, well, I'm going to go next. You've not really left me anything to say about running back, because I'm going as well. Just like you, probably a minute ago, I watched back the last couple of races. As you say, you know what I mean. In the second race at Kempton, I've just got down my notes. Just looked a little bit lost, sort of at the beginning, sort of halfway through the race, but he did show, didn't he, a decent turn of foot to to sort of take Ocean from second last of that 4-runner race. To only lose by a head in the final sort of quarter mile, and he really did get a move on, didn't he? So I completely agree with what you're saying now, and it looks like if he can just learn from his sort of mistakes and sharpen up a bit, if he can sort of show that turn of foot again, you think you wouldn't really blame anyone for thinking he's got a chance,
that extra furlong, like you say, seems to.
Obviously, that was all weather, wasn't it? That was an all weather track. But then Ryan took the debut ride, didn't he, at Newbury? And again, similar sort of, showing, wasn't it? A similar sort of effort on his part. Maybe not quite as gone to plan exactly, but when required, did sort of get a shift on, didn't he? So.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm agreeing with Sean there. I'm going to go for the 345, and that'll be running back. 13-2, I saw about half hour ago. You're looking at me puzzled there, Sean. Is that wrong?
No, that's right, mate.
Oh, okay.
You froze
so
a bit.
I thought way he looked at me like I thought I might.
No. I lost you a bit.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all right. No worries. Right. Well, my second choice, I've had an inside tip on this horse. No, it's not really. It's a horse that my cousin Dave, Sean, he likes. He mentioned it on WhatsApp actually earlier on today, called Miss Chess in the 420. Holly Doyle's booked again. She's a half sister to French Oaks winner Fancy Blue. She was third on her debut at Yarmouth recently. She got away a bit slowly and she had a bit of ground to make up. They were all a bit green that day. She jumped the path like they do sometimes. But about 2 furlongs out, Holly started to get to work. And she really started to get a shift on. And again, Holly was at the back at that point. There might have been about 8 runners in the race. But she stayed on really, really well. In the final furlong, she had every chance and got to the line, and she was third. But there was only like a neck and a shoulder split in 1, 2, and 3. And she beat I can't remember exactly the names of it, but a lot of like new horses. But you know, there's a couple of Godolphin runners in there. Sheikh Mohammed had a runner in there, you know, and I'd wager that she cost a lot less than they did. And I just, you know, I can understand where Dave's coming from, you know, like, you know, a little bit under the radar, a little bit in terms of the race she was in with some of the, you know, leading, you know, sort of most well-known owners and trainers. And she acquitted herself really well, despite, you know, being very green, and Holly said she was green. You know, you only got to really realise that by saying the fact she jumped the path. But, you know, if the penny's sort of starting to drop a little bit, you know what I mean, she could turn out to be, you know, a real decent little purchase, you know. You know, one of them ones that come along and, you know, and, you know, sort of outrun their, you know, what's expected of them, you know. So let's hope she can do it again. So that's my second choice, Miss Chess in the 420. All right, then, where should we go? Let's go, Mark. Go on.
All right, even gents. Okay. My first one, I'm going for the 2:15, the Richmond Stakes over 6 furlongs, and I'm going for the Haggis-trained Yazaman, the current 2-1 favourite, ridden by Tom Marquand, who had an impressive double today, I believe. But this horse had an impressive second in the Windsor Castle at Royal Ascot. And an even more recent second in the Group 2 July Stakes at Newmarket. No, I've had a lot of time to look back over this horse over its last recent runs, especially in the Group 2 July Stakes at Newmarket. Look, this horse brings really good form to the table, and Tom Marquand is in sublime form at the moment. But I don't want to rule out some potential threats in this race with Mark Johnston's Kadir, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and also Aidan O'Brien. You can never take him out of the way with Admiral Nelson, who I believe will be the two main threats. But I feel Yazaman and Tom Marquand will have enough ammunition there to get the job done tomorrow in the 2:15. In the 2:45, I took a long time to try and pick one over this one, lads. But I've gone for Khalifa Sat, which is also a Tom Marquand's. I was very impressed by its seconds in the Derby. A huge price at 6-1, finishing behind Serpentine. But again, in this race, you know, there are some top contenders with the likes of English King and the Aidan O'Brien Mogul, which finished both 5th and 6th respectively in the Derby. This is over 1 mile 3 furlongs. The Derby was 1 mile 4. But has recent form at Goodwood, has both recorded back-to-back wins, both over 1 mile 2 and 1 mile 3, both before and after the lockdown. And also, not to forget, English King, that was rode by Tom Marquand in the Lingfield Derby trials, only to be pipped by Mr. Frankie Dettori, not taking anything away from the man that he is. And I've gone with these two particular horses just because of, I think, of the form that Tom Marquand has. And I think the race that Khalifa Sat had, current price at 11-2, and I think stands a massive chance. Open race, but I feel it's there for the taking. So Yazaman in the 2:15 and Khalifa Sat in the 2:45.
Okay, fair enough. Come on in, Jamie, finish us off.
Right, just to finish off the two selections I'm going to do. The 2:45 Golden Stakes Group 3. I'm gone for the English King, young Mark. I'm going to give him another. I'm going to give him another chance. It wasn't disgraced in the Derby, I thought, finishing 5th. Obviously, Frankie Dettori is still a positive. He was on board again. Wondering he might change his racing tactics this time for this race. He's 5-4 favourite. Well, when I looked at it on the race card, so I'm hoping he might improve his 5th from the Derby, and also most probably just learning from that as well. So and also you might have to take. A lot of people might say they might take the Derby form a pinch of salt, but I think English King might improve his fifth place at the Derby. That'll be an interesting run. And on the 4:55, the Taylor Nursery race, 7 furlongs, Class 2. I've went for a different face. He's ridden by William Buick. She's a filly. Only ran 2 races in her career. One was at Yarmouth at Defoe, so hopefully the ground conditions will suit at Goodwood. And her last run at Lingfield, where she won by 3 1/4 lengths. So the penny has dropped knowing how to race. And the trainer, Simon Christopher and his son combination, are in good form. So it's a nice each way price at 7 to 1.
Okay, fair enough. That looks quite quite a good little race, that one, doesn't it, Jamie? Really, when you look at the sort of form of them and that.
Considering it's not a great Thursday's card, I just had a little look and it just came up to me and the way of the form. So there's good. I mean, you class a nursery as another maiden, so it'll be interesting.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's our selections then, boys. Has anybody got anything they want to add about today?
Oh,
not so much about today, if I'm being honest. But aside from tomorrow's card at Goodwood, you've obviously got the Galway Hurdle over in Ireland. Now, I know it's the flat season still, but it's a fantastic card over there at the moment. And you've got the Galway Hurdle, Aramon, Felix de Jay are meeting again, Elliot Mullins.
Okay.
Fantastic race. Aramon at the moment 7 to 1. A couple of weeks ago, took on an absolutely annihilated Petit Mouchoir on the first one out. And I mean, on the bright, come turn for home swinging, he just sat there double-handed, pushed to just go over that last and flew. Again, in that race tomorrow, you've got some fantastic horses, Petit Mouchoir, Moon over Germany, horses like that. Again, I know it's still early for the jump season.
Yeah.
Away from Goodwood, that is a fantastic jump card tomorrow over in Ireland, and that race alone. But Aramon 7 to 1.
Fair enough, mate. Good shout. Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
So that's more money I can lose tomorrow now then.
Yeah. actually, Glenn, as well, whilst we're talking about tomorrow, I just want to mention, I believe it's is it the Nassau Stakes tomorrow? Just want to mention another top quality race we got tomorrow with it's O'Brien versus Gosden for me, Fancy Blue versus Nazif. I think that's another quality race that we've got to look forward to tomorrow. Not forgetting the Japanese connections, Deirdre, and we can't obviously forget Aidan O'Brien in Magic Wand. I thought it's another tough race. And Sean, you know that old saying, all roads lead to Cheltenham, my friend.
I'm just getting in there early. That excited me when I saw that earlier. I was just looking at it.
I'll throw it in there, isn't I?
I'm waiting for another free ticket from Jamie.
See what happens.
Yeah. It's not what you know, is who you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Can I just mention about Defoe? Just a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah, go on.
I thought that was just a bit of bad breaking news. Well, sorry about the pun, but he unfortunately broke his leg on the gallops. And I thought he's done really, really well and on the Stain circuit. I don't know if he was a gelding or he's still a full sire. He would have been interesting for a national hunt sire as well. So because I think they're losing quite a bit of the national hunt sires on the jumping side. So that would have been interesting. It's just unfortunate and it was nice. It was poignant where you see the yellow and black spots go by, and where was it Mambo Nights won?
Mambo Nights, yeah,
won today, and then Andrea Atzeni mentioned about Defoe, how he was and everything. It was just a bit of a shock.
Very unfortunate, mate. Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go, folks. That's a couple of selections from us each. Hopefully, we'll have a better day tomorrow, then, boys.
Please.
Let's hope so.
Chat to you tomorrow, guys. See you later.
See ya.
See you later.
See ya.